in multiples of 8, obviously, because of the size of stacks. It's just if you throw a stack of 64 things into a furnace, it's nice to know that they're going to cook in, in a uniform order, and one of the furnaces isn't going to get, run out of fuel quicker than the other ones. So I always try and build in 8s if I can, and I can just about fit an 8 furnace array along that back wall there. So that's what I'm going to do. And I've also been messing around with a switch system that allows you to lock the bottom hoppers and take XP from the furnaces at a later date. Because furnaces now store XP, I can throw things in and throw things in and throw things in, and eventually I can flick the switch over in the corner, lock the bottom hoppers, and then go and take everything out of the furnaces left in there manually, and all of the XP from everything that was smelted in there before that, I'll be able to collect it then, which is fantastic. So that's what I'm going to do. Boo's just down there, sorry. You can hear Boo. She's just down here in my little wood factory, which is, I think that's probably going to be an ideal place for it to be, the furnace array, because I don't want to use charcoal or kelp blocks or coal or anything like that in my furnace array, because of how many items coal and kelp will smelt. If I put a block of kelp will smelt 20 items. Now if I've got a furnace array of 8 furnaces and I've got a block of kelp in each one of them, I'm going to have to stick in an absolute boatload of stuff to smelt to use all of that kelp block. And it's the same with coal and charcoal. I think they smelt 8 items at a time. So again, if I've got 8 furnaces and the coal in there smelts 8 items, every furnace has got to have a stack of things in it, to smelt all of the items, for the coal to smelt all of the items. It's just a waste. So what I'm going to be using are planks. I think I'm going to be using planks from my wood farm down there. Now I've got an unlimited supply of bone meal, and I seem to be getting back quite a few saplings. Then that's what. Anyway, let me just build it. Let me just build it, and then you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. So let's grab some furnaces scissors. This is going to be the output chest where everything comes into. That's going to be the fuel chest. That's going to be the to smelt chest. And these are going to be where the furnaces go. So grab some hoppers. I'm hoping I've got enough hoppers. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And all the blocks underneath, I'm going to put a repeater and a mechanism over the back that locks them all later. But I'll do that in a second. Got to be careful digging around above hoppers, obviously, because you get stone in there. And what you don't want is to be digging around above hoppers that lead into furnaces, because if you get a block into a furnace, you might not know it's in there, and then you'll wonder why one of your furnaces isn't working. So I'm going to make myself a bit of room over the back and above it, and then I'll be back in a second. Okay, as you've just heard, we've just heard the most humongous amount of lightning. So I'm going to run off and see if I can bag myself another head, because I love it. I love grabbing heads. It's even the daytime as well. Now I'm pretty sure you can't get other mob heads, which is a shame, because I'd have liked other mob heads. There you go, 1 mob head already. 2 mob heads. This is just fantastic. Get yourself a channeling trident. Why didn't that hit him? Wow, listen to that. I'm going to have to turn that down in post, aren't I? That's far too loud. Get in, mob heads. Creeper mob heads. We like creepers. Look at this, we've got loads of them. Do fancy a spider mob head though, if I'm being honest. Unbelievable. Would not believe that. Would you believe that? Okay, so now that bit of excitement's all over and done with, and I got myself 5 charged creeper heads, which is not bad at all. We need to stick in a bit of redstone around the back. So I'm going to need some repeaters, and I'm going to need some redstone dust. And we need to lock these hoppers. There are going to be 1, 2, 3, 8 hoppers. Nearly lost all my furnaces. So we need to lock these hoppers at the bottom when we want to. We don't have to do it all the time, but we need to do it obviously when we want to collect the XP. And to do that you just power them, really. But there's no need to use a repeater on every block, otherwise you're just wasting repeaters. If you do one every other block, then you can put redstone dust in the middle. Like that, and then just run a line of redstone down the back. Repeater there. And our switch will be... is our switch... I'd like to put our switch there, but I can't, because if I do that, I'm going to bud the furnace and stop it from working when the switch is on, so it's going to have to be one further over than I wanted it to be. Yeah, can't help it. It's got to be there. But never mind, eh? So, that there like that, that there like that. Bit of redstone, flick the lever. Now all of these furnaces are locked and nothing's going to come out. Excellent, just what I need. Now we need to work on the mechanism for loading and unloading the mine carts. Now, I can get away with a furnace array of only 8 furnaces. I can get away with a couple of repeaters. That'll give me enough delay to be able to put items in the chest, and enough items will flow from the chest into the hopper minecarts to be able to fill up the 8 furnaces there and back. So we need a delay on the before the minecart goes, before it runs down the back of the furnaces and loads them up. If the minecart goes with only 7 things in the hopper minecart, then it'll fill up the first 7 furnaces. It won't fill up the last one, then it won't fill up any on the way back. It'll be an absolute waste of time. But putting a couple of repeaters on there will give us enough delay to do that, so that's not a problem. If you build this any bigger, if you build this over 16 furnaces, you're going to need a different mechanism altogether. And I might show you how to do that later on, but I'm not going to need it. So maybe I won't. Not sure yet. So let's dig out a little bit of room at the back here. Excellent, excellent. Excellent. I've got rubbish everywhere, haven't I? Rubbish everywhere. It's an absolute nightmare. Granite. Nobody likes granite. A couple of bits of carpet I could have used up on that. I need to use that on the thing I broke at the top. Let's pick that up as well and throw that over there. So we're going to need... Oh, I need a couple of detector rails. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make any detector rails. Alright, give us a minute. I'll be back when I've made some detector rails. Okay, I've got my detector rails. We need some detector rails under here. Now, depending on which way we've built this, this is either going to... No, this is going to be fine. It's either going to work or it's not because of the way rails snap together. I'm fortunate in that I've been able to build this the right way around. Oh no, I haven't. I've been unfortunate that I haven't been able to build this the right way around. So there's a little bit of messing needs to be done, but hey ho. Now the reason for me having to mess around, and I'm sure I've bored you with this before, that rails snap in a certain direction. They always snap east to west, so that's east and west, that's north and south. It's just unfortunate that my furnace array is facing north to south, which just means that I've got to mess about getting the rails to snap just here. I need that rail to snap upwards, otherwise this won't work, and they won't do it normally because they're facing the wrong way. However, a little bit of messing around and you can normally get it to work. Need a bit of power in here. Do that. That's going to make the rail at the bottom snap up like that, and then the minecarts, the hopper minecarts, are going to go up there and suck items out of the chests, which is perfect. Let me just stick a bit of light in over the back as well, just so we don't get anything spawning here while I'm somewhere else. So as for the mechanism around the front, I'm hoping down... No, I'm fine, aren't I? I was hoping there was nothing down there, and there isn't, so I haven't got to worry about it. I think that's the underneath where the portal goes. Right, so I need some comparators. And we're going to need a comparator there and there. That pulls the signal. If there's something in the hopper minecart, when it's underneath there, there'll be a signal coming out of that comparator there. Then we need a couple of repeaters to boost the signal there and there. Actually, we don't need a couple of repeaters. There. Come on, Phil. Let's get with the program. We're going to need a couple of blocks. One there, bit of dust, and then our 2 repeaters on 4 ticks. Then a block there with a blob of redstone dust on it. And now we need some Have I got enough room? Never, never. Throw those in there. Now these fence gates are going to be the things that hold the hopper minecart underneath here. Without them, the minecart will go up there and then just roll back out again. But you have to be careful. You can't have them that way round. If you have them that way round, the minecart slides back down the rail a little bit too far and it doesn't suck the items out of the chest. So you need them side on. So you need them that way round. And that way they get held right inside the underneath the block and they suck the items out of the chest. I'll show you in a second. So that's like that. That's okay. Need to do the same on this side. And these need to be on 4 ticks to just give you that delay that pauses the minecart underneath. As I mentioned before, it pauses the minecart under here before it lets it go. Otherwise, you're just going to be going off with a half full hopper minecart and you'll be wasting your time. So that's that. I need all of these now. So now we need to run a line of hoppers into the back and into the top of these furnaces, and this is where you've got to be careful not to break anything now above these hoppers, because otherwise the stuff's just going to go straight into the furnaces. It'd be a nightmare. Now we need to get some powered rails above the top of these furnaces. Excellent. Now we need to run this. We need to get that linked up to that. It's not going to work, is it? No. Bit more room. Couple of blocks there like that. Up there. And they're like so. Now we need to put a couple of blocks in here, a couple of blocks at the top that's going to power both of these rails without locking the hoppers. Last thing we want to do is lock these hoppers. We might get away with just one torch to do all of it here. And because I'm so well prepared, I managed to put my torches back. Right, so a torch there might do all of them. I've put a rail over the end, because if you don't, the hopper minecart comes down here, drops one item in there, bounces off the wall, but doesn't drop a second in there on the way back. So you've got to it's got to go over that all the way to the end and then bounce back over the hopper to drop a second item in. If we were to put that block there, it would only drop one in here, but two in the rest of them. So the hopper at the end would feel a little bit left out. Now, have we gone far enough down here? Yes, we have. Perfect. So now I need to grab myself a hopper minecart. So now we've got the 2 hopper minecarts. We just need to get them on the track, surprisingly enough. So if we stick one just there, and then one just there. I've not put a block up here, have I? Idiot. Okay, I don't know what's going on. What's going on? We've got invisible mobs, and I don't like it. Right, so we've got that all over and done with. Let me fill this in. And we'll try again. Brilliant. So they're all stuffed under there. Excellent. I'm just going to check the furnaces before we do anything else, just to make sure there's nothing untoward in them. And then I'll do a quick check around the hoppers at the back, just to make sure there's nothing in those. That's great. So now all we need is some fuel in there, I guess, in a second. What I want to do before I put fuel in it is stick down some decoration type of bricks over the top of the, obviously you guys know, over the top of the furnaces you have to put some stairs. If you don't, you're just not going to be able to open your chest. Get in there and do that. Do the same over these two. Perfect. Look at that. Look at all that stuff that's fallen in there. And then just want to run down and put some stairs over the front like that, and then over those hoppers. Yeah, over the hoppers at the top. I think that fits in really nicely, actually. Would have been nice to get it over that way just one more. I just don't think there's a way of doing it. No, just can't do it. Hey ho. Bit of lighting so we don't get any bad guys in here. So let me just run down and grab some wood from the booster. So as I say, fuel goes in this one. And you'll see it takes, you know, enough to equally fill all of the furnaces. And the minecart will keep running at the back until it's run out. Hypnotic, don't you think? And then we just need something to cook. Because I've got no animal farms or anything, I don't have a great deal to cook. So let me grab a non-silk touch pick and go and mine a little. I've got to mine this area out anyway because I'm going to be putting a storage area in here, I think. Right, so stuff to cook goes in there. Boom! Fantastic! And that'll equally spread the stuff in there. Now, as I said, at the moment it's landing in the it's been stopped in the hoppers underneath, or the hoppers underneath are being locked to stop the items going through so you can collect XP. If you turn the lever off, everything's going to go through straight into here. And as you can see, it's just flying in. It's brilliant. But once you've smelted loads of stuff, as I mentioned, this will store your XP in the furnaces. So when we get down to the last one, I'll go and lock the hopper, and then we'll take the items out the furnaces just to see how much XP we get. So now that bit of cobble, the stone, won't fall out of the furnace. It'll stay there, which allows us then to take items out and collect the XP. Now, in fairness, I've only put a couple of things through it, so I'm hardly likely to get loads of XP, but you can hear it just about going into my XP thing. But once I've smelted a load of gear in there, that's certainly going to be worth doing. So I'm just going to tidy this up a little bit now, put some stone brick above it. Like that, and then I'll mess around with the floor. I'll stick a couple of pistons down and get a bit of lighting on the floor, which is something you can't do in 1.14. They've stopped that. In 1.14, pistons no longer allow light to go through them, which is just a doggone shame, really, because that means all of the lighting in the stronghold is going to have to be changed. But I worry about that as and when. So let me stick a little bit of lighting in here, and then we'll have one final look at it. So there you go, that's another little project out of the way, and we've got ourselves a fully working, half decent furnace array that you're able to collect XP from as well, and I'm really happy with it. So I think we'll have to call it a day for today then, everybody. Thank you very much for watching, I really do appreciate it. If you have enjoyed the episode, please don't forget to leave it a like, and if you've really loved it, don't forget to subscribe for future videos. And also, don't forget to check out the other alphas. They are all fantastic and well worth a watch. This is Frilioth, and I'm out of here.